Greetings, everybody. Patrick here. Back with a pop-up. That's right. Yeah, sort of breaking out of it, huh? Right. I'm supposed to be away for November, but something had to bring me back up alive, and I thought this would be a good reason as any to come back. I don't know how many people are going to be online right now, but we're here, and I guess that's all that really matters, right? Talk about ego. So as you can see by the title, is channel support pop-up. So yeah, we're doing another pop-up video, another support, another push. So I wanted to go ahead and do that. Hopefully people will find this out. I'm gonna grab some addresses, some channels. Mainly our good friend Kyle, Kyle Curtis, Kyle Curtis Flett, who is coming up to 1,000. So I said, you know what? I need to come up here and say something about that. See if we can get him a few heads. To come on up. And of course, when I do that, that means we'll also do some. Hey, Curtis, how are you? The Flett from another world. I like it. I like that. So we're gonna go ahead and grab his. We're gonna go ahead and grab his channel, and then we're gonna go ahead and push that and let everybody know that he is getting close to 1,000. That is exciting news. Every one of us who's crossed over those thresholds, whether it be our first 400, 500, 1,000, on upward after that, knows how exciting that can be. And so we're going to go ahead and talk about that. Hey, what's going on, Corey? Just coming up here to talk a little bit about just pushing some channels up. I thought I gave you a. Didn't I give you? I thought I gave you a wrench. Why? Why? Oh, maybe he said no. Let me see. I thought I did, but if not, well, I'll fix that because then that way he can drop his channel on here, and let me go grab him. Hopefully, everybody's getting ready for Thanksgiving. Oh, okay. Yeah, there we go. That's what I'll do. I'll go that way. Give me 1 second here while I grab his address. All right. Ta-da! I found it. I found it. Okay, so he needs 9. He needs 32. Wow, I know we could get him a few because I'm not really. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah. Let me go back to my channel. I'm going to go ahead and toss this up in the chat. And then we'll go ahead and see about getting some heads here. 32. I mean, is it possible we could get them 12? I mean, that's not 1,000, but I think we could get them to 12. I think we can get them at least to 980. I would like to think we could do that. All right. Let's see. Doc Kaiju's here. All right. Happy Thanksgiving, sir. Fellowship of the Gigans. Yeah. I was gonna say have Gigan will space chicken, but oh crap, that would be too funny. Hey Karma. Hey Skipper. Hi Logan. So here is the channel right here. This is Kyle's channel right here. And if you haven't subscribed to it, please do. I mean, I can't think of a more perfect YouTuber to talk about here the day before Thanksgiving. If you really think about it, because of all of us who when you think about Thanksgiving and what you're thankful for, I think as a whole, the YouTube community that we live in, I would definitely say that I'm most thankful that Kyle is here with us today because he almost wasn't, and he came very close to not being here with us today. And I, for one, am very grateful that he's here. And I'm very grateful I'm able to do something like this for him, whether it be a 1 sub or a 12 or by a miracle we get 32. I'm just glad that he's here. Kyle's a very nice young man, very polite, very professional. His channel is great. He does a lot of great interviews. Um, I think he has a really charming style of interviewing. Every guest that comes on there is a super special guest. Um, Kyle also did one of the best interviews I've seen, not only this year but since I've been on the tube. He interviewed Ken Sagos from Nightmare on Elm Street. That was an amazing interview, amazing. Um, uh, and um, and he pulled it off with a plum. And so yeah. Uh have I seen the Godzilla versus the gets Red Gigan Rex? Yes, on Godzilla Day. Yes, that was badass. That was wicked cool. And of course, Mighty Casey is here. Where's Mighty Casey sneak in here on this? Because Mighty Casey is also a now Doc Kaiju is also a huge, well, by look at his name, right? So he also is a Mighty Kaiju fan. So now we have three now in the community. We have Doc and we have Mighty Casey, and of course we have Ben Cadaver Club, my fellow IFC Midnighter. He's got an amazing collection, amazing. He's still working on his Gigan 3D model that he started on before he had his accident, but he's getting up to speed. He's going to be working on it again. But the Gigan is huge. When you see it, you're going to be like, it's an amazing piece of work. Yeah, I did see that. Let's see. Skipper is being good for a change. Skipper's always good, Karma. He's always good. He's a really sweet boy. Skipper's the man. Skipper's definitely the man. So you guys got the link there. I'll be dropping a couple other links here too as well. So you guys all can come over there and hang out. And by all means do so. And if you want to drop something in the chat, what you're thankful for this year, yeah, by all means do that. What are you guys thankful for? Hopefully you'll hopefully have something, like I said, Kyle, for me, getting Kyle back, having the Ice Lord make it through till Thanksgiving. He too was very, very sick, and glad the Ice Lord is back. Our good friend Hobbs has not been feeling the best this year, so shout out to the Hobbs. Hopefully he's feeling really good and ready to chew down some turkey. It's been a little rough around the edges around here right now, as far as that goes. So I'm really am glad and thankful for the people we have around us. Yes, I am too. I'm glad for even though I still don't really particularly like the American version of what they're doing. I'm very glad for Godzilla Shin, Godzilla +1 or -1. The new Godzilla is coming out from Japan. Super excited about. Of course, I'm bummed too. My library never got a copy of Godzilla -1 because I was really hoping that they would buy a few copies so I could get one. Unfortunately, that did not happen. So I just gonna have to cross my fingers and hopefully run across a copy in the wild that's cheap. Um, uh, but otherwise, We're going to be reviewing another Gamera movie, I believe, here pretty soon. It's definitely on the list of movies that we'll be covering on Dollar Theater. So we'll be talking about Gamera again. I had um, I have a public domain collection, and it has several Gamera movies on there. And so once or twice a year, we'll bring it up there and review a Gamera movie. I also got some other stuff I found in my one of my bins downstairs. I'll be introducing that as well, and we'll be talking about some other creature features coming up. Um, you don't own any physical copies of anything after Godzilla King of the Monsters, so you didn't get okay. Let's see. Did the library cleanup go after it crashed? It crashed. Yeah, I had to break it down. I had one bin, Karma. I had one bin, um, and I was able to fill it up, and so it's back to manageable, back to manageable, being manageable. About half the closet, a little over half the closet had to come out, um, and I had a bin able to take most of it. So yeah, that closet. I was talking to somebody on the phone, and that's a rare thing too. And I just heard I was actually talking to my sister, and it collapsed while I was in there. I was in the other room talking to my sister, and all of a sudden you just hear this tremendous noise, and the whole closet said, "I've had enough. I can't take anymore," and it just so I had one of the bin. I was able to fill the bin up, and that was cool because it enabled me to get to some movies that I have not been able to get to because the stacks were too high. So as far as Dollar Theater goes, that really was helpful because now I was able to get some new blood going here. Let's see. Happy Thanksgiving to you, Tony. You're going to be graduating soon. Congratulations on that. Let's see. See, Tony's going to go back to the New York Public Library. Man, I wish they had sales. Uh, um, I heard from both Kenny from talking movies with Kenny, Sean, or yeah, Kenny, Sean, and Jim, that and Charles Cochran, that Hamilton Book is having a massive sale. And I saw some of the movies that they've gotten recently, and so yeah, if you're looking for something to get somebody for Christmas, it looks like Hamilton Book is dropping some seriously good prices down there. That's a great place to shop for anybody who's a cinephile that's on your list. You can buy up to 25 movies and only pay $4 shipping. That's insane. That's absolutely insane. Now, after I say that, be prepared for a little bit of a wait. If you order anything from Hamilton Book between now and Christmas, you're gonna have to, because Hamilton generally delivers within a week of their package, but being Christmas and what have you, it probably will take a little bit longer for your package to get here. But not like those boutique labels. You could order shit off the Criterion or from Vinegar Syndrome, or and yeah, you might not get it till next year. I also heard too that Screen Factory, as we know it, is gone. Screen Factory has gone the way of Warner Brothers Archives, and they have moved their store um, to on demand. On demand, so they have set up their store in Amazon, I believe. And so for now on, if you order anything through Amazon, Screen Factory wise, it's going to be coming out through there. I think that'll be interesting. Um, of course, now that all the humans are probably, all the people who are doing all the packing and all the stacking, and they're probably not working anymore. That sucks. I hope I'm wrong about that, actually. Um, let's see. Doc says that about the he mentioned about Skull Island, the King Kong movie. I have that. But I've seen clips of it. Man, I just that's gonna come up on Dollar Theater. I know that. I know I'm gonna want to talk about it. But man, that I was not a fan of that. I just was not. Uh, I just thought it was. I thought it looked really. Thought it looked really cheesy. That's to be honest with you. Though I do like Brie Larson tremendously. I think she's definitely one of my favorite actresses. Um, but that movie just did not do anything for me. Now Peter Jackson's King Kong. That's still my favorite. That's still my favorite version of King Kong. Um, I still right, and then right after that is probably King Kong versus Godzilla from the 1964, 63. I love that movie. That movie's so much fun. Evening, Mike. How are you? How are you? So we're here to and let me get some action going here. This is Kyle. So if you want to come over there and say hi to Kyle, uh, feel free to do so. And then let's see what else we can do. I'm sure we could get somebody else on here. Okay. You can go over and say hi to Karma. She's a very sweet young lady. And her and her husband own a lot of cats, or I should say they own her, including the mighty Skipper, who I've tried to get over here, um, with no luck, by the way. So there's Karma. If you want to go over there and say hello. Uh, oh, okay. Quartzsite. That's where Steve Lucas Boy are at, or they live in close to Quartzsite. Nice, nice. I think a lot of people are going to be going there during this January, aren't they, Mike? Some sort of the big Quartzsite meetup is in January or February. That's when Arizona's going through their really rough winter months. How cold is it today? Oh man, it's freezing. It's 70. It's 78 or 79 degrees. It's freezing. Uh, but they did get frozen in Phoenix. They had themselves a hell of a storm this week, with a hailstorm and rain and flooding, and ice. Woo, not fun in Arizona. Let's see. Yes, they they own us until we can find homes for most of them. Well, maybe some of those Qatari airmen that are coming over from Qatar. Maybe you can give them. Maybe you can on their setting up their Air Force base. Maybe you can donate a cat to the Air Force base. They could have a couple of mascots. Um, yeah. Let's see. Will show up in January. So was this something I said? I just got yelled at. No, 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 thank you. Oh my gosh, that's too cute. Let's see. A couple of hours east from here. Most show up in January for meetups. The big event is the Big Ten event. Okay, that's I've seen pictures of that of the meetups. The meetups are a lot of fun. Yeah, they'll get like you know just whew, I get like a small army over there. I guess it's getting more popular every year. Well, I'm not sure if it's popular or if it's by necessity. Um, I know a lot more people are they're living in their cars or they're getting RVs, and but I do know they do go toward where the sun is warmest. Um, and that will be in the wintertime. That will obviously be the southwest of the United States. Let's see. Yeah, neither do I, Mike. I don't do very well with large crowds either. Not anymore. Used to, but yeah, I don't really like going out to big crowds anymore. Yeah, you can't even go to a Christmas. You can't even go to a Christmas tree lighting without someone shooting somebody. But that's our country. Um, all right. The mother-in-law might take it and take in one of the boys. Give him an orange cat. Give her orange. Everybody knows the orange cats are the best. That's what I heard anyway. I heard that through the grapevine. So let's grab Mike's address. We'll throw that on there. So if you guys haven't met Mike, you guys can do that. Um, I want to say Mike was actually the. I think Mike was actually the first van lifer I met. I think he was. I'll have to ask him here, but he might have been the first one I met, uh, other than Hobbs. Mike, were you the one that when that used to do the 24-hour stream? Used to run a 24 hours live stream? Because if that's you, then you were the very first van lifer I met after Hobbs, before I met anybody else. That was crazy. That was a lot of fun. I used to have a 24-hour live stream, um, and different people would come up there and hang out and keep it going. Of course, StreamYard would only let you. I think they still do, but maybe I'm wrong. But back then, StreamYard would let you just stream up to 12 hours. Then you had to sign off, and then come back. Uh, let's see. Currently here in the camp, Roy from Roy and Becky. Yeah, I heard Becky's been not feeling too good lately. Tim and Crystal from CR View. That's one of Steve's close friends. Brian's Vintage Van Life. Merton and Sue, and a few others. Yeah, those are good people. Yeah, so that was yes, so that was you. I remember that. Yeah, that was you were my first one that I met. Um, God, that was a lot of fun too. StreamYard used to end it at 12, and then I think you had to wait like a half hour, and then you had to go. Then you could go back on. You could go to get your live stream back on. Go for another 12 hours. Mike used to host it, and there'd be times where people would come in while he slept, and people would come in there and keep the stream going. I was on there for a couple hours. One time, I got invited to come up for a couple hours, and that was a lot of fun. Actually, I got invited twice. I got invited twice. I declined the second time because I didn't really know much about the van life community, and I didn't want to take a spot away from somebody who did, and who was able to talk about it with knowledge, with knowledge. Because believe me, when you go to a if you go to a stream that says van life, and you got somebody over here going like, "What's van life?" Uh, Yeah, they ran it for 60 days. That's right. Um, yes. Still buffering, still loading. Um, yeah, that sucked. Um, I just got done asking. I did a live stream with another YouTuber. We were on TikTok, and we did a live over there, and it was a lot of fun. But I asked him afterwards. It says, "Hey, were you able to save it? Were you able, like we are here?" And find out that no, their live streams will only archive for 30 days. So you have 30 days in order to cut up the live stream and do with it as you will. Whereas over here, They stay on your channel for as long as for as long as you want them to be. Yeah, I think I just got into I'm not real oh god, I don't know what to do what I'm doing over there at TikTok. I just got over there. But I'll tell you one thing, the engagement over there, whew, lights out, night and day, compared to YouTube. Over here, I put up a video, and if I get 20 views on it, I'm like, oh, wow, amazing. I could go ahead and post something about football. I could post something, I could post a little bit about football, and I'll get 20,000 views off of it and engagement. People will be talking. They're still talking. They're still talking. I just have like just it's incredible. The only thing that they have not been able to do yet is, and I hope that they're able to fix this if they choose to fix it, is that they won't let you link up with anybody else off of like I couldn't share this out on my TikTok. This wouldn't fly. Always, yeah. The pandemic was definitely the heyday. Though there are a lot of people, I mean, you look at Ava and her show, and you look at Steve and his show, they're both doing really, really well. They both are well over 20 people now per live stream. Ava's up there Mondays and Wednesdays. She gets about 20, 25 people, and Steve, same thing, 20, 25 people. Thank you so much. Um, yeah, there's some really great people at the meetup. Did Steve go down there? Did Steve and Lucas and Oki go down to that meetup? Yeah, I did the same thing, Mike. Um, I actually took November off. Um, I only did one show. I did our IFC show, but otherwise I stayed off. I stayed off. I didn't do any interviews other than reviews. I dropped reviews on my channel because YouTube says it's you can't. You can take a break off of YouTube, but it's good if you drop at least one post per week, so the algorithm sees that you're still active. Um, so it lets you know that. So that's all I did was just drop in. I just dropped in a reviews. Otherwise, yeah. But yeah, I had to. I'll be honest with you. I was pretty close to just shutting it down for the rest of the year. But then I started getting some people that wanted to talk, so I said okay. So in fact, after I do this, I got to do a banner and bring some and get some more people to come up and say hello. So I'm looking forward to that. Yeah, I noticed the first time I took my first break, and this is before I knew better, but I took my first break from my channel, and I didn't put anything up. And when I first started Eight Questions with, I was getting between 15 to 18 people per show. It was fun. After I did my first break without posting anything, my audience dropped tremendously. I was doing from 15 to 18 down to like 8 to 12. And I've never been able to recover it. I never have been able to recover my audience. It's now I do shows where I have, I only have 2 to 3 or 4 people in there. Uh, let's see. Karma says here there's a van life meetup somewhere in Oregon in June. I've thought about going just to meet some new people. That sounds like a good idea. Sounds like that sounds like a. Let's see. Let's see. Glad I ended my live when I did. Oh, thanks so much, Mike. Yeah. I do. My schedule is pretty as far as doing lives go. Um, I go where I work around people. When I can get them into a time slot that's convenient for them. That's what I do. Um, and so yeah, it's a lot of it's because I talk to people from all over the world, and yeah, it could get nutty sometimes. Sometimes it can get overwhelming. I'll be honest with you. Um, I mean, I put out a SOS, hey, all points, everybody wants to come talk. And I had 75 people contact me that wanted to do the show. I only have like, very little few spots. So, I got a few of them. And then the ones that I did get, a couple of them didn't show up. That happens. Um, yeah, I just don't know how to promote on here. That's the thing. I just don't get it. We work, we got some fascinating people to talk to. I mean, that's one thing I can sit there and say about eight questions with is um, we talk to a lot of interesting people, and I see a lot of other channels doing interviews now. A lot of other channels doing interviews, and I think it's great. I think it's great. I think interviewing is a lot of fun. It's just a lot more fun when you have people come out there and listen to it. I used to do late night lives, yes, nightly. Then went to Sunday nights, then nothing for a while. Yeah, yeah, doing lives by yourself. Uh, uh, I'd rather do collaborations. To be honest with you, collaborations are a lot of fun, which is probably why doing my interview show is my very favorite thing, and the ISC show. I get to collaborate with the Mighty Mary Wilson and Ben for Cadaver Club. We have a ball. It's so much fun. Yeah, I had definitely have plenty of playlists, Mike. I have plenty of playlists. You can just grab one. I basically put them in blocks of 25, because, and I have a master list. I put them in 25 because that's chewable. If you just put up there 1,000, 600 interviews, people they don't know what to listen to. What do I listen to? So what I do is I just put up the ones, 25 blocks, and I have specialties. Like if you want to listen to a writer, I have a playlist of all writers. I have musicians. Um, I could break it down even more, but those are the ones that I've broken down so far. We've had van lifers on here, of course. We had Steve, and we had Karma, and we've had Ava and Doug on here a couple of times. They're due to come back. I loved Ava and Doug, the captain. They're our captain and Tennille. Um, yeah, they're definitely a pair of my very favorite people. Um, it's really fun to watch Doug and Ava, because you're trying to make Doug break character, right? Because he doesn't talk. That he, just like the captain didn't talk on Captain and Tennille, so he doesn't talk. So you try to get him to say something, and then I love watching Ava when they go out and play, not at their house, but when she'll show clips of her playing with her and Doug are at this little diner or whatever. I swear to God, when she plays, it's like she's a cop. If you watch her play, her eyes are always moving. She's watching everything, and she's still playing. It's an amazing talent. I mean, I'm lucky to be able to talk and lift up my coffee cup. But if you really watch her during the clips where she's out and about, you'll see her play her violin or whatever she's playing, but her eyes are just like constantly working that crowd. It's very cute. Doug is a hoot. Yeah, Mike, man, I'll be happy to have you on the show. Hell, I love talking to van lifers. I think they're fascinating people, and I think it's really interesting that I've had Tim come on the show before. We had Ray. I'm not sure what happened to Ray. I'm not sure what happened. No, Ray was he was a constant, and then he wasn't. So I'm not sure what happened to Ray. Um, who else is out there? Uh, Bree's still out there. Um, well, Bree's another one that sort of disappeared on us. She was there for a while. I hear she's still acting as a mod on somebody's channel. Brene is still with us. I still see Brene. Uh, yeah, those guys are a hoot. Yeah, I think the last time I saw him, I think one of the last live streams I saw him was when he covered the eclipse. Remember the eclipse? That's right. You were my first homesteader. I'm sure there's a lot. I'm sure you interview homesteaders too, Karma. I'm sure you've seen a lot of them now. I mean, I'm sure you're seeing more of them more than ever. Yeah, Tim is amazing. Um, he's the one definitely that someone walked up to me and said, "Well, I'm going to get into the van life, but I don't know the first thing what to do. Who would you suggest?" I would suggest Tim first, always. That guy does. He is a freaking MacGyver when it comes down to building out a van. I think he's going to be building up. I think he's going to. You can't get anybody to come up anymore. Really? Uh, I can't believe that, Karma. Really, I would think that there'd be ton of homesteaders, a ton of van lifers you could talk to. Wow, I maybe people are nervous to go online to talk anymore. Me, I don't give a rat's ass. That's my secret. I just don't care. Yeah, Mo Bang for Tim. Yeah, that guy is a magician. He is a freaking magician. I don't know how I just watch it. He watches videos and he gets the most of all his space. I believe he's supposed to be working with Van Girl Cheryl about revamping her van. Her van is really nice looking, and I'm just thinking to myself, I saw her van inside of it, and I'm going like, Tim Tim's gonna go crazy for this. He's gonna love showing. He's gonna love revamping this van. You know what? I know you have a strict guest guideline, Karma. I respect that totally. Um, but I would try to reach out a little bit more to maybe some writers. You can go on Facebook and go to like self-published people who self-publish their books. Writers are really interesting to talk to. Um, and of course, I cannot. I there's got to be. There's got to be a van life. I mean, there's van life groups there too, and I would just go inside one of them and just put your requirements. Like you're a family oriented podcast, and I would just go in at that angle. Yeah, Cheryl's a very sweet lady. She's very sweet. She used to makes me nervous though when she was up in that working at that hotel, and she'd be walking out there by herself, and I'm going like, man, oh man, I don't, I was always expecting a polar bear to pop up because they're everywhere over there. I mean, it's crazy how that works. It's like you don't think about it, but they're there. They're always there in Alaska, Canada. It's like that would be a place where I'm not a gun person at all, not at all. But I remember when my wife, it looked like she was going to get a promotion, and we're going to have to move down to Florida. And I told her, I says, I'm not a gun person at all, but if we move to Florida, I'm buying a handgun because the first time some freaking croc alligator comes knocking on my door, I'm getting new belts and shoes. I just don't get that. Don't mess with them. Why? They're not endangered. There's almost 4 million crocodiles, alligators down in the South, South Carolina, Georgia, Mississippi, Florida, Alabama. I mean, there's 4 million of them, and we're treating them like it's the last of the kind. It's like, and then you have to shift around them. It's like, you know, no, they come on my property. I shoot first and answer questions later. Let's see. Okay, definitely. I can do that for you, Karma, because your interviews are really well done. They're very well done. I know you have criteria for guests. I don't know how I made it on. Only because I think I was the inspiration. I think it's the only reason I made it because I'm salty. Well, I do own a cheetah, so there's that. But I was grateful to come on to the show. But I do respect your criteria though, Karma. And yeah, we could definitely talk about it. Um, Good people to talk to too, and you know this because this is how you and I met, is Tuber Chat. A lot of people over there, very nice people over there in Tuber Chat. Kevin doesn't put up with buffoons. Um, you've seen his moderators; they're really good, and they're really super nice people. And what I do when I get over there once in a while is I go in there and I'll sit there and say, who's under 100 people on their channel? Who's under 100? And I go over there and I'll get a couple of subs that way. Wow. I'd like to talk to. Have you talked to Kevin? I'm not sure if he did or not because he's going into his winter months now, and he can do interviews now. This is the time of the year that he can do interviews. If you're or Kristen Welton, she also is a great interview. I really enjoy talking to her. Okay, you talk to Kevin. Kristen Welton would be another one that I would talk to for sure. Super nice. I haven't really. Now I do know that interviewing fellow YouTubers. I do know that does bring more views per se. It's supposed to if you interview someone who's also into YouTube. Um, but I don't do that. I don't do a lot of that because a lot of other people are doing it, and and there's, I mean, there's some people I would like to talk to, but I really oh my gosh. Well, there you go. Kristen is she's awesome to talk to. Yeah, I'm going to be asking Kevin to come back on here in a minute. I haven't talked to him for a while. He's always a good interview. I like his lies when he's driving around or he's walking Niagara Falls. Those are my favorite things that he does. I mean, I love Tuber Chat for what it does, but if I had my way, I like watching. I like watching him. Of course, I really like to see him and Kristen walk it together because that would be really cool to see them both out there and getting both their perspectives of what they're seeing. But he does a solo walk around, Niagara Falls and on the Canadian side, and I really enjoy those. I really enjoy those lives he does. That's a lot of fun. Yeah, I didn't mean I think maybe I probably do too many pop-ups too. That's probably one of the reasons why I struggle doing these sort of things. Pop-up mics used to be yeah, Kristen Welton. She's the companion of Kevin from Tuber Chat. Um and she does a lot of products reviews. One of my favorite videos I saw, she went to a coffee shop, a tea shop. That was amazing. That was a really good show. I keep telling her, says, you need to go down there like twice a year to do that because that was so much fun. Pop-ups can be really fun. I mean, they can be fun. As far as like I do this, trying to get a few heads. I knew the day before Thanksgiving was going to be a little bit rough because I haven't been on in almost a month really, and it is it is the day before Thanksgiving, and people have family over, or they're getting pizza. It's just not a lot of activity on the YouTube. But I thought I'd come up here and talk for a little bit and see, get Kyle a couple of heads. Um, I did one review, which will be coming out on Sunday. So actually, I got to do another one. I'm watching a film right now called uh, "Where the Crawdads Sing." It's a Southern drama, and I'm about a quarter of the way into it. It's not bad. It's not bad. I know I'm supposed to be watching horror movies, but I got horror movies coming up here. But you know what? You guys look at my reviews. I don't always talk about um I don't always just talk horror. Sure, no problem. Have a great Turkey Day, Mike, for sure. Let's see what else. What are we? What are we? I will say, like I said, I am coming back. So December we have some heads coming in. I got 5 guests done so far. I got more to do. So next Tuesday, we have actress Jill Holder will be with us. On Wednesday the 3rd, Tori Rice will be with us at 8 p.m. Um, on Thursday, December 4th, we have writer Win Scott Eckert will be with us. I've known. How was it? I heard. I really like to find that movie. I was hoping that's another movie, Tom, that I was hoping that the library would be dropping off, and they never did. I was hoping that they would drop off. They just don't buy the quantity they used to. You know, whenever a new movie would come out, they would buy like 3 copies, of DVD and 3 copies of Blu-ray, so they had 6 copies, and then they would bleed off a couple of copies off. They would put that they would put that inside the bookstore, but it's the physical media being what it is. um, Now they're buying maybe 2 a piece, sometimes 1 a piece, depending on the demand. And so a lot of, like a lot of library, movies just don't, they just, we never see them. Um, as a matter of fact, I have not gone to the library for the last 2 weeks. It just hasn't really been much over there. So I decided to give it a couple weeks off and clear my head out of it. And I'm trying to decide if I want to go back to it. My membership fee is up, and I'm not sure if I'm going to renew it, because every year it's gotten weaker, every year. The first year was really strong, and the second year was okay. This year was, I mean, it was good quality, but it's just not very much quantity. I'm walking out of there with like 5 or 6 movies. Before I was walking out with like 10 to 12. It's a lot more value for my dollar. So I'm not really sure. I'm trying to decide whether I'm going to do it or not. Um, I got so many movies. I could not buy another movie and probably still would not be able to go through half my stack before I kick the bucket. I have so much stuff here. I guess you could call me like a movie hoarder. I'm one of those. The ones you see that like Cinema Sickness. That's a perfect name. Um, yeah, I need more shelving. Maybe if I had more shelving or more boxes, I'd probably go back into it wholeheartedly, but I don't. It's like, oh, where do I put these things? Where do I go with them? Of course, everybody's going to be eating turkey tomorrow, turkey and ham. Um, I was hoping to get a coupon for my dinner, and it came. It came yesterday. So glad, because I didn't think it was going to happen, because I do tuna fish on Thanksgiving, and but I don't do it unless there's a coupon. And so they had a coupon, so I was able to do tuna fish. Um, yes, Zelly was super sweet. That's one of my favorite interviews. Zelly was a really nice person to talk to. And another proof about nobody really shows up for the shows. But I will say this is interesting. I'm glad you brought that up, Tom, because I will say this, and one thing I'm starting to notice when I was doing my written blog, and I should go back to doing that. um I would, after a while I was doing YouTube. Then I started doing YouTube. Well, I recently checked my written blog to see, like I didn't expect anybody to still go by there, because, I haven't put anything down there in years. Wow, was I mistaken? People have come by my blog lots of times. That's why I'm saying, well, like, yeah, maybe I need to go back there and pay it a visit. Um, that's what's been going on with my channel. I've been checking my analytics. It's not earth shattering, but but it's but it's super positive in the fact that my past interviews are being found, and they're being watched, according to my analytics. I see old interviews that have gotten, you know for the last couple of days, they'll get 5 or 6 people come by and check them out. And I wasn't getting that kind of traffic. I was not getting that kind of traffic at all. Generally, the traffic I get dies out after 3 days. In fact, for most of the stuff that I do, it comes out for 3 days. It'll get a push, come out, and then after 3 days, then it just dies off, unless it gets viral. Um, and that would be normally it. And then you hope that people will still find it, but not very much. Let's see. And so, but recently I've noticed that when I look at my analytics, when they show where my traffic's at, it's a lot of the time it's at all the old interviews. So that's really cool. I'm really happy about that. Let's see. I might be able to do something like that right now. I'll show you what I mean. Now, of course, I wish that would translate into follows, subscribers, but that hasn't happened yet. Okay. Let's see. Okay. Okay, so I'm checking it out here. Okay, so here we go. Here's a good example. So past stuff that I've done. Let's see. Lydia Helen is getting a lot of traffic. Of course, I expected this a little bit. Karen Cleach, I expected her to get some traffic, and she did because of Thanksgiving. Let's see. Well, actually, this time it seems to be mostly film reviews I'm getting. Well, let's see. Okay, there's someone came by and visited Bob Furmack from yeah. So there's a few people. Well, this is actually mostly reviews right here. So no Cold in July. For some reason, somehow, people discovered that, and so the last couple of days, I've gotten over 90 views on that, and that came out in 2021. And so, yeah, it's really weird how that works. It's almost like if someone looked up that movie, which I think is really what happens. Is Hey Eric, there he is, Mister Schlock himself. Uh, yeah, Lady Sasha is on fire, definitely. But Eric's another one, Tom, that does great interviews as well. Uh, Eric has gotten some fantastic interviews on his show. But I'll be honest. I mean, I don't beat my chest at all. But I'll be honest with you. I match my list up against anybody's. Definitely. I think. And to me, what I think was really cool is that other people are doing interviews and kicking ass. Lady Sasha, Eric, but Steven's getting married, so hopefully he'll come back and pick it up from then. Um, but there's Curtis. Curtis does a lot of interviews, does really well. Gareth's got some fantastic interviews. Um, yeah, I broke my month-long break one year, a couple of years ago, I think it was, where I took a month off, wasn't doing any lives or anything. I broke that because Gareth was interviewing Matthias Hughes, and he let me come up there and ask Matthias a couple of questions. So hell yes, I did that. I certainly did. I was like, hell yeah, okay, yeah. I was tickled to death. I was like, man, that's so cool. Um, Video Tasties. Yes, he had Matthias Hughes on his show. He's gotten some heavy hitters on his channel. He's had Richard Norton on there. He had Cynthia Rothrock. He had, like I said, he had Matthias. I mean, he's had some really great guests on there. Eric has some great guests coming up. He's got Adam Marcus coming up here pretty soon, and he's got Beatrice Boppel and Sandy Johnson from Halloween. You're gonna fall in love with that lady. Sandy Johnson was definitely she's a sweetheart. So's Beatrice. Beatrice is a hoot. But I really enjoyed Sandy Johnson quite a bit. And we asked her, this is so cool. So we asked her, we asked her, says, if Michael Myers are not human or supernatural, and she says he's both. He is both. He's both human, and he also has supernatural abilities. And you know what? That's how I look at it now. It does. That's how I look at it. So when I heard about Halloween Ends, that's why I was like, yeah, you can take that shit elsewhere because that's not Michael Myers. That's not how he is. Lauren Marie Taylor from you don't have Sandy Johnson? I thought you had her. Oh, you got to get her then. Lauren Marie Taylor from Friday the 13th. Um, I'm so sick. I'm so sick of that and Scream. I'm so over that. I'm just waylaid by that. I just, yeah, I just want to talk to. I just want to, I just want to see more. Anyway, and we're seeing it, and we're seeing a lot more different type of horror films. I noticed that Keeper died a fast death. Nobody's talking about Keeper. I heard that was just a hot mess. And I think The Strangers 3, I think the teaser trailer dropped today. I don't know if Remy can pull a rabbit out of his ass, but for the love of Christ, I hope he's able to pull it out. I hope The Strangers 3 comes out and rocks. I really am. I just feel, I just feel so bad for him because he's a good director, and yeah, that The Strangers 2 was just a horrible mistake. Um, the Strangers, but we're going to tell you all about them. We don't want to know who they are. That was the whole hook of the whole series was they're strangers. We don't need to know who they are. Yeah, I'm hoping that will come out. I'm hoping that will come out too. I really want to get Good Boy. That's of course Good Boy is ISC, and so I'll be about that. Um, we did cover our first non ISC Shutter movie on Sunday. We watched a movie called Spring, and man, that was a good movie too. Um, and yeah, that was, and we had connections to that. Me and Steven, we're watching this movie, and we're going like, you know, I we know these people because Steven had interviewed he interviewed the lead actor um for that movie, and then I had interviewed one of the actresses in it, and because I had never heard of the movie Spring till Ben sprung it upon us. I gotta admit that, I mean, if he would have told me that Ben would be the one to show us that movie, I would have said no, but he did, and it was great, very well acted. Um, yeah, I really enjoyed it. Yeah, I want to get a copy of Good Boy. I hope it comes out on DVD. I don't know if it'll come out on Blu-ray, but I definitely hope it comes out on DVD. Yeah, yeah, I'm I'm okay with I don't know how that works out. How does it work out? Because these are the only two franchises at the moment that I think are interesting. Um, Predator and Alien. Those two series have gotten stronger with every movie. And I have not seen the TV show, so I can't speak to that. But as far as the movies go, they have actually gotten stronger, especially Predator. Holy shit. Um, they did a PG-13 movie and no one blinked. No one bitched about that because the movie was so good. Man, I gotta tell you, that just warms my heart. Um, but because I guess what it is they respect the source material. They know what works. They know that, they follow the story. Yeah, see? That was PG-13 and they rocked it. I think that's so cool. And Aliens, I got Aliens Romulus, so I need to watch that. But I heard that was actually quite good as well. I know there were a few grumpies, but overall, everybody was really positive about it. And speaking of Badlands, so I'm doing my TV show, RetroTube. So I was supposed to be doing Nickelodeon this weekend. Unfortunately, we had because the holidays was here. I had to push that back till next week. But I did drop an episode for coming out this Sunday um, from the Incredible Hulk, the Lou Ferrigno series. Um, Unfortunately, I did not stumble into a winner. That was a pretty bad episode. Um, but speaking of Badlands, I will be paying a visit to that series very, very soon. Into the Badlands is such an ass kicking show. Jesus, that's a great series. Holy crow! Um, so we'll be talking about Into the Badlands. Won't be this year. Probably maybe January. I got my list lined up for what I'm doing. But yeah, but Into the Badlands is one badass show. So what is everybody having for Thanksgiving? Are you guys having turkey, ham? Um uh um we used to do where we had orphan Thanksgiving. We made Rachel Ray's mac and cheese. Man, that was heaven. That was really good. I miss that. Um um Now I just do tuna fish. Doing tuna. And I'll be talking to Eric over here um, because I guess it is almost time for our winter edition of Sharks versus Schlock. Um, I think I've been dragging my ass on that because I know I'm getting the shark movies now. Eric is going to be picking out 5 badass shark movies to send my way, and I got to send him some schlock movies, which I can do because I'm pretty damn good at it. Um, I'm just glad I'm doing this now because I'm hearing that they're going to be making a Sharknado movie, Origins. They're going to do the origins of Sharknadoes. Cannot wait for that. Uh, you have plans of Sharks and Schlock being all year round? Man, well, you know what? We could get away with that too because they're producing shark movies every fucking month. No Thanksgiving here. Yeah, me either, Tom. I don't do Thanksgiving myself either. That's why I'm having tuna fish. I'm watching tuna fish. grabbing tuna fish and finishing watching the finishing watching where the crawdads sing and also breaking. So I've got a double header tomorrow, double feature. I can't. Okay, I'm curious now. Oh my God, I'm not so sure. Should I be jumping up and down about this, or should I be hiding underneath the blanket? Karma says they're having homemade pizza and salad. Oh shit! Set two more plates. Me and the cheater are on the way. That'll be cool. Homemade pizza and salad. That's that's Thanksgiving. That's a good Thanksgiving. Yeah, man, I'm looking forward to this. I know how much you love sharks, and I like schlock. So this will work out. This will work out great. But I was happy to, I'm sort of like, I don't know, I'm sort of like really happy at, I heard that they're gonna, just because it's an original movie, not necessarily because it's Sharknado, but just because it's an original movie. I was really happy to hear that their Sci-Fi Channel is going to be doing that, and and I'm thinking to myself, I'd like to see more of that, but it's not going to happen. Streaming has made cable channels like Sci-Fi Channel has made them obsolete, in the sense that streaming, you can go there and watch any movie anytime, if it's on the catalog. Whereas if I watch Sharknado, I have to wait till they play it again. It's almost like old-fashioned TV. Like I can't go back there and rewatch it twice in a row. Um, and I'm not sure that Sci-Fi or NBC is going to spend any money on original movies, unless they somehow, unless they change Sci-Fi Channel into a streaming channel. I mean, if they did that, then maybe it would work. But I mean, painful, man. We've already endured the worst. I endured the Leprechaun movie. Man, that is painful. Uh, but Tubi has been doing has basically has taken over doing what Sci-Fi Channel did, and that is putting out original movies. They're all sci-fi level movies. I watched one and I reviewed it called Hydra, and there's another one called Fire Breather that I'm thinking about checking out. Uh, but those are all movies that you used to see on the Sci-Fi Channel. You just don't see that anymore. I don't even know why the Sci-Fi Channel is still around. I keep waiting for them to sit there and say they're going to cancel it, because I don't know any reason why it's still on. There's no point to it. It won't be a huge commitment, but we can do Sharks to Slock all year round. All right, I'm down. You know that. I'm all about down. I'm all about down for death. Let's see. Okay, I have four giant litter boxes waiting for me to clean for 27 cats. I am out this time. Happy Thanksgiving to all. Love you, Skipper. Thank you, Karma. We'll talk after Thanksgiving, Karma. See if we can get we'll see if we can get your show back up and running. Um, yeah, Hulu's a fine streaming service, isn't it? Isn't Hulu basically the same thing? You can pretty much pick and choose what you want to watch. See, that's the thing with Sci-Fi, is just they don't have that option right now. And Disney pretty much bought out the Hulu, so you're not going to see anything. They bought out Hulu, so I'm not sure if you'll see any original Universal content on there. I mean, as far as monsters go. I mean, the only thing I can think of is Peacock. Oh, are we going to team up to challenge people like a tag team, like APA? What? You say you got a schlock movie you want to challenge us with? Well, let me make a small call to see about some protection. Oh shit! Who are we gonna challenge? We gotta challenge. We gotta challenge some people. Man, you know the Slock, and I know the Sharks. Man, I don't know how anybody can beat us. If we picked one out to talk about Clash of the Titans type format, maybe. Barb will get into it because Barb loves seeing your reactions to shark movies. That's not a lie either. Yeah, I like to get. I want to do more collaborations for sure. That's gonna be fun. I think she'll really like that one. She'll really like Chopping Mall. That was a good one to pick. You can't go wrong with that one. Valley Girl was cute. That was really cute too. Well, we could definitely talk on Friday because I know you tomorrow's with your family for Thanksgiving. So Friday, we could do a FaceTime. I'll send you a link and you can come up there and we can talk about it for sure. Definitely like to hear the details. I'm all about that. I want to do more collaborations too. Me and JT were supposed to be doing a Clash of the Titans in December. I just waiting for him to get a date, but we got one for you guys, which would be off the wall. But then again, me and JT, we do things like that too. We do things a little bit off the wall, but we have a Clash of the Titans that I think that's going to surprise everybody. Al, yeah, I want to do a watch along with Al too. I definitely would love to do a watch along with the bat. We've done one before, Tom. We watched the bat together and we watched Contender Series 7 together. We tried to do the giant Gila monster, but YouTube shut us down, which really sucked. Um, yeah, we've had a couple there. I've done a couple of watch alongs with Gareth. We did the 13th Warrior, and we did a couple of the Andy Sedaris movies. I was supposed to get an interview with Andy Sedaris, and I had arranged it with his wife Arlene, and then got the word from her that Andy had been diagnosed with cancer, and it was pretty advanced, and unfortunately he passed away from it. But I was scheduled to get an interview with him. Um, Arlene was a really nice lady and easy to talk to. It's so cool to see those movies get talked about once in a while. Gareth is like he probably holds the candle up brightest for them. I enjoy the hell out of them. I think they're fun. I think they're fun as hell. And they actually have a lot of quite. They have a quite a few named people. You know, people actually did them. Pat Morita did a Andy Sedaris movie. Bruce Penhall, Eric Estrada, Ron Moss, who was a huge soap opera star when that happened. Phyllis Davis was in one of those. Um, yeah, they had their fair share of star power. Buff Bagwell was in he was in two of them. Let's see, the Day of the Warrior and Return to Savage Beach. Yeah, yep. Eric Estrada was great in it. Yeah, yes, he was. Um, of course, that was when Julie Strain was with us. Julie Strain was just she was a goddess back then. Back in her heyday, she was a goddess. Such a sad thing happened to her, though. Fuck, that just her story is so freaking sad. She got hit in the head when she was a kid, and that led her to having early Alzheimer's. Larry Wilcox? No, I didn't. I never got an answer back from him. I know he does. I know he does pods, but yeah, I just don't think I'm his audience. I thought him and Eric Estrada were friends again. I know that they had their few little bumps in the road, but I thought all that shit had been forgotten and forgiven. But I guess I saw a recent podcast with the header of, you know, um, he got me fired from Chips. I didn't know Larry Wilcox got fired from Chips. I definitely know Eric Estrada was going to get fired because he got such a big head. You know, they did the same thing, that they do for every series. You know, once they break out a star, all of a sudden, like Ponch became the Fonzarelli. You know, once Eric Estrada's star was shining, all the episodes started becoming all Ponch oriented. And it's like, oh, he could do everything. But I know he was, he had some trouble with he had off the camera problems too. And Larry Wilcox held the fort. I think he crashed. I think he crashed his motorcycle, and he got laid up for several months. I think that's when they brought in Bruce Penhall. Yeah, I will come by Friday. I will look you up Friday. I'll get up early and look for you, and then we'll talk. Do I'll do a StreamYard, and then we'll talk about your idea and put it in play because my calendar's open. All right, Tom. I'm going to go ahead and pull the plug on this. I sort of knew this was going to happen. I should have probably did this. Maybe I'll come back Friday night and do this, where there's more people out and about. Today was probably not probably the brightest time to do it, but yeah, happy Thanksgiving to everybody. And those who celebrate, enjoy it. Those who don't, well, there's always the Bengals and Ravens on TV. All right, guys, we'll talk to you soon. Stay safe. Peace.